Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of Gentleman Masterclass. I'm your host, Mark Antimate. Today, I'm going to shine up these Chelsea boots just a little bit, just enough, because I would like to get them sold. I don't no longer want them. Probably gonna go for a better fitting one. It's just a long story. I would just like to offset these Chelsea boots that I had bought from Zara. The price that I had paid for them was about 13 to 14,000 Japanese yen. I don't know how much that is in USD. And not to mention that I bought these before COVID, probably around 2019 or so. Could have been even 2018 or 2017. I just been wearing them for a while. But right now they're in really no condition to sell because just presentation wise, just looking at them, how dirty they are. When I take the photograph, nobody really wants to pick them up inside of this condition. So, as long as you put in the elbow grease and the elbow work and you make them look a lot more presentable, then, they're going to look presentable inside the photographs. And then people is going to be more reluctant to want to pick these up and spend their hard-earned money on it because they're going to think that they got a good deal on something, which they do. I'm not really selling any trash here. These are full-on leather Chelsea boots. The EU size is 43 inside of these. And I guess that's 28 centimeters here in Japan. But as you guys can see, these things are kind of grayed out, kind of dull, no shine to it, a lot of dirt on them. And these, I forget what these things are called, but on the back you got these tags here. I guess you could call them tags. You can kind of hold on to it while you put your shoe inside the shoe. You could hold on to them while you put your foot inside of the boot. And as you can see, these things have faded tremendously just from me handling them. That's like, all the coloring has completely left that. The top here, the coloring has left. And I guess a few other spots inside the boots. So I do have something for that. I don't speak French, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. I'm just going to hold this up to the camera for you guys to see. This is a black leather dye from Saphir. And we're actually going to use this today and along with this little sponge that it came with. And we're going to apply this black leather dye to these tags on the back of the shoe there and anywhere else that may be just completely faded where we need to recolorate and make it black again. I don't think I ever uploaded that video, and maybe I never will. It was just, the video quality was just not that good, but I actually did use this on a black leather belt that I own. The black leather belt is from Coach. I found it at a used store here in Japan called Treasure Factory. It was in really good condition at the time that I found it. And I had worn that belt out over the past, I had that belt since 2016. So from 2016 to 2023, you guys do the math. I was wearing that belt for that period of time. And finally, it started getting discolorated and faded, very much like the back of these tags on here. So I went ahead and I bought this and I reapplied black all over the belt and it looks like brand new again. So I rejuvenated that belt and I still have a lot more of this dye left. So we're going to go ahead and put it on the back of these shoes. But I think I'm going to do that step last because I want to get everything else done first. I don't want that to get inside of the way while I'm maneuvering with the boots here while I'm shining them. I'm such at a loss of words today. I was never really a good speaker. At a loss of words every time you guys see me on video. Another thing is I'm pretty angry today. I completely tore up my whole household looking for this thing. Not this thing, but something similar. This is a Saphir horsehair brush. And you use this for buffing out your shoes and to get all the dirt off and all that stuff. You guys can see I have this brown one here, but I had a black one that was not horsehair. It could have been horsehair, but I think it was pig bristle. It was something. It was very good because that one was black and these bristles did not come out. I noticed that with this Saphir one, after you do some brushing with this, it just leaves hundreds of these little horsehairs all over your countertop, and you got to do so much cleaning afterwards to get your area back presentable again. But I'm very upset. I love Saphir as a brand, but they are not one to make horsehair brushes. So I would highly recommend that you could get anything else Saphir, but do not get the brush at all because it is not going to do you good. So I tore my house apart looking for this black brush and I could not find it. And I know what's going to happen. I know as soon as I wrap up this video and everything is finished and done, I'm going to go walking somewhere inside of my household and then I'm going to find it easily because that's the way that these things always happen. But anyways, it is what it is. So let's get into it today. First of all, I'm going to use this one, this chamois here. Well, no, we're not going to use that first. Actually, let's go ahead and let's brush off all of this dirt that's on here. Kind of hard because you want to soften up all of that dirt and grime that's inside of there, rocks and little pieces of gravel and things like that. You want to get all of that off of the shoe. That way when you put on your topical, your application of wax, you're not going to be putting that on top of gravel and dirt. It needs to be applied to the shoe directly. All right, so the tongue is a little bit faded. Not that much, but just a little bit. So we're going to apply some of that on there as well, that dye. So now that we got those clean, the first thing that I want to do, I think I want to put some Renovateur on here. And I may have mentioned this before. My Renovateur is kind of getting bone dry, and we're just going to apply this with our fingers. I'm going to need to re-up this soon because this is really getting down there. If there's any one thing that you could buy for your shoes to kind of make them look not new, but in a better condition than what they were, I would definitely say it's the Renovateur is the most important thing that you could possibly buy. It's going to have the most dramatic effect is what I want to say. So we're just going to apply this all over the shoe. Let's just get a little bit more here. All right. And just using our own natural fingers here, we're just going to work this into the leather and rub it around all over. And if you need any more, you just go ahead and get that. Let's get up here on this tongue. Yeah, I had these up on this Japanese selling site Mercari for quite a long time now. And it got a bunch of likes, meaning that people are watching it. They're watching it like a hawk. Wait for me to either go down in price or something so that they can buy it. But the thing is, I don't want to go down in price. That's the whole thing. I don't want to go down in price. I want to sell it for the price that I'm asking for, which is 5,000 Japanese yen. And instead of going down in price and selling it cheaper, I would rather just up the quality of the shoe by doing this and making it look a lot more nicer and presentable and getting the money that I'm asking for it. All it does is just take the work and the effort like this to get what you really want. So instead of settling, I'm making them better than what they are by doing the service of a shoe shine and renovating the shoe so that when the next person gets it, it's already in a state that it could be worn immediately. Wow, if you take a look, if you take a look at this one compared to this, I mean, that's already a big difference there. Hope you guys can see that on the camera. Yeah, that's already a big difference. So let's go ahead, move this one to the side, and let's attack this other boot. Now, I actually got another shoe shine video prepared for you guys, or at least I'm preparing it at the moment. It's actually taking me a lot more effort and work than usual to get that one done. I think it's going to be about an hour in duration of 4K video, so it's really taken me a long time to get that going. Get it finished. It's already going, but to get it finished. So whichever one of these I upload first, I don't know which one it's actually going to be, but be on the lookout for 2 shoe shine videos, one for these Chelsea boots and one for my brown cap toe Oxfords. Some shoes that I really love. And I'm going to have to get some new Renovateur, not Renovateur. Well, I'm going to need that too. I already got some Creme, but I'm actually going to need to get some brown wax for those shoes. I realize I don't have any brown wax. I have clear, which I have been using, and that was nice when those brown shoes were brand new, because they had a nice kind of painted application to it, a nice colored dye and pattern to that. So, you know, I did not want to mess with that color straight out of the store, so I was using a clear coat of wax, of glissage, a very high wax. And now that I've owned the shoes for so long, I think I've had those since 2018, so that is about a good 6 years now. I noticed that the color inside of those shoes is starting to fade. And just, what is it? The Creme alone is not going to bring the color pigmentation back to the shoes. I got like a nice cognac color that I put inside of there. But I need to get some wax as well, some brown wax, actual brown wax. All right, so this is already looking so much better than what it did. Let's rub that in there deep. Let's get the back of that. Let me make sure I hit that. Okay, that's looking lovely. And it tells you how long you need to let this stuff sit for. On the side of the can, it says about 3 minutes, which has already kind of been about 3 minutes for this first shoe. So we're going to go ahead and hit this one up. We're not going to put any cream on here. I mean, I suppose I could. You know what? I suppose I could. I promised myself I wasn't gonna do this, because this is my good cream. I want to leave this purely for my black shoes, right? I don't want to be wasting all this expensive cream on these. Well, they're not cheap boots. I mean, I paid like 14,000 Japanese yen for them, but I don't want to put this on these shoes that I'm getting ready to sell. So I'm thinking about it. Thinking about what am I gonna do. Let me just test this out here. You know what? I don't want to go cheap on it, so let's just go ahead and put that on. Just one application. You know, it's going to make these things look so much nicer. And that's how you really work it into the leather. Use your fingers in that elbow grease, like I said. Yeah, that color's already getting nice and dark and black again. Okay. Yeah, instead of using a rag, something of that nature to apply it, this is what I should have did inside the other video, which I didn't. The other one that I'm talking about uploading of the brown cap toe Oxfords. I should have applied the cream with just my natural fingers, but I applied it using a cotton cloth or something like that. I don't remember, but it was something. Could have even been that chamois there. But if you really want to get it worked inside of that leather, just go all straight fingers. It's going to be my last application on this side. Hold on, let me just get a little bit more. And after you put this on, you let it sit for about 5 minutes. Buff it out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these things look so much better than when I initially started. Let me make sure I get all of this off. All right, so we're gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and hit this other shoe here. Let's look at these things side by side. Yeah, they're really getting there. I suppose I could just put the cream and just be done with it, but I'm gonna apply one layer of wax. So let's go ahead and let's put this cream on this side. This one is called the Creme 1925, and of course it comes in so many different colors, but I'm obviously using the black version for the black boots. But this is good for putting all around the shoe. Wax you only really want to put on the cap or the toe of the shoe and the heel, because you don't want it cracking on the vamp area here during the summertime, getting all dried up and cracking and leaving that white residue. So you only want to put wax inside of just the front and the back, but the cream goes around the whole shoe because it's a lot lighter of a wax. I got these nice and black. Oh, I can't wait to re-up these on the internet, the new photos, because right now people are looking at the old photos. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Let's hit one more side here. Just right here. All right. We're going to give it about 5 minutes, and then we're going to buff it out. But if you really want to do an even better job, the idea would be to leave the cream overnight and then come back and buff it out the next day. But I'm not going to do that this time. I did do that on the cap toe Oxfords. So I had to make that video in 2 parts and 2 different portions. But with this, now we're just going to leave it just like this. All right. And I still got some of this on my finger. So let me just go ahead and try to get as much as that off as I possibly can before I wash my hands. All right. So there we go. All right. I'm going to pause it right there, and I'm going to be right back soon. All right. I'm back. You guys can see I washed my hands to get them fairly clean. And while on that 5-minute break, I did try looking for that black bristle brush again, but obviously did not find it, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and use the brown one and buff this out. the whole thing is, I mean, I guess it's okay, but strictly I wanted to leave the brown brush for the brown shoes and the black brush for the black shoes. I don't like to cross contaminate my brushes, if you understand what I'm saying. So I just strictly wanted to use one brush for one color of shoes, but unfortunately I don't have the luxury of that right now. Trying to get these things sold, and this needs to be done. I do have a funny story, but I'm not sure if I want to tell that. You know what? I might as well. I can't lie to you guys. I went going through the bathroom cabinet underneath the sink, and I was looking inside of there. I was like, well, maybe I have the brush inside of there. I don't normally keep it in there, but I thought maybe I had it in there. So I was like, let me go look. And obviously it wasn't there, but I found a black bristle brush that was about half the size of this one. And it is used for, African Americans making waves on their hair. It's a hairstyle that we have. You do that wave brush and you put on a wave cap. I was like, maybe I ought to use this black wave cap brush. And I was like, well, what? Wearing waves is not really my style. I tried it once. It's too difficult with the upkeep, and then you have to keep applying that rag, sleeping with that at night. It's just a lot of upkeep that I don't want to deal with, right? So I don't think I'm going to try again to get waves, but I had that wave brush, and I was like, maybe I ought to use the wave brush, because the wave brush was perfect. Would be perfect for buffing these shoes, but I was like, but what if I do want to try again to get waves? Then I can't no longer use this brush because it's going to be full of shoe cream and shoe wax and polish and stuff. So I was like, I better not. So I obviously, I'm using this one, so I didn't do it, but I did think about it for a good 60 seconds there. All right, so we got that buffed. Let's go ahead and hit this other shoe. It's getting hot in Tokyo these days. It's the end of April, and it's already getting hot. Degrees Fahrenheit, I don't know, because, when you're in Japan, you do as the Japanese do. So I use Celsius to determine the weather. I think today was, I switched out my Apple Watch. I think today was 22 degrees Celsius, which is somewhere in the 70s in Fahrenheit, I believe. But it's a humid 22 Celsius. So I'm feeling it right now. And I got on a little thin sweater. But this is something that you wear in the springtime on a windy day, just to cut that wind out. It's not really that hot. Even before I threw this thing on for the presentation of the video, I'm saying I was already hot. So it's not because I'm wearing this. I opened up the window. I cracked that just a little bit right before I started the video. But it's not cooling down. I got the sun shining in through one window. It's getting ready to go down. It's already about 5:30, 5:50 in the evening. So it's getting close to sunset. Sun is coming down in one part. I also got this thing right here. You can use this to also buff, but it's too much friction there. It's catching the shoe, catching the boot. So actually that doesn't work as well as I thought it would. Let's go ahead and let's start applying some of this wax. Now, I don't want to use my good wax. So I got this stuff right here. This is the Kiwi, which is a cheaper brand. Not as good as Saphir, but still pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and use this for our needs today. All right. Just got to get this chamois around my hand. You see, I already put some water on there to get this kind of rehydrated again. because I haven't used it in a long time. Make sure that we got a good amount of wax on our hands here. Let's go ahead and apply this. It's looking good. I'm going to do one coat all over the whole shoe. I know I told you in the middle of the video, I said only put it on the cap and the heel, but one application on the entire shoe, just one coat around the whole shoe is okay. But what I'm trying to say is you don't want to just cake it on there. Every time you shine boots and or shoes, you put it on the whole shoe every single time, because it's just going to get layered on there and just get thicker and thicker, and that's no good. But, you know, this shoe has kind of been stripped down, and I'm just applying one coat over the whole thing. Help it get some of this black coloring back inside of it. All right, it's looking pretty good. It took me a long time to break these shoes in, but I did it. Still not very happy with the fit, but they were good enough for the long term. I feel like I could find something that fits even better than this if I were to look again, which is why it's okay for me to try to rid myself of these, because then I could look for something better from a different brand that has a better fit. The problem is that with the sizes that I was getting in Zara, it's like they were either a little bit too big or a little bit too small. And with this one right here, I went wrong when I should have went right, and I got a little bit too small. But after how much that I wore them, you know, I've broken them in, but still tight in some aspects. Like I'm saying, if you had to wear these for the entirety of the whole day from sunrise to sunset, and you're out walking around the city with these, yeah, you're going to get, feet are going to hurt. You're going to get fatigued. I'd rather just get boots that are better fit for me. I don't know. Where can I get some good Chelsea boots? I'm thinking about the next time I go back to the States, I'm going to look on, is it called ThursdayBoots.com? Maybe they have some. So we'll have a look, see if they provide anything good, and I'll try to get some Chelsea boots from Thursday's Boots. Or is it Wednesday's Boots? But one of those days of the week. I think it's Thursday. Let's just get some water. Make sure that the whole shoe is hydrated, and make sure that all of this seeps into that leather. You want the leather to absorb all of this, just to get rehydrated. Just sob all that stuff up like sticking a donut inside a coffee. All right, so we got that one shoe done. Let's go ahead and hit the other one. First of all, let's get the front. Now, I'm not even really trying to shine them. I'm just trying to get them back a black color and have them looking hydrated again and just looking good. Because nobody was really wanting to buy these shoes the way that they were. You know, they're watching it, but it's waiting for that price to come down. I got news for you. That price ain't coming down. Trying to see what else I could talk about. You know, while I'm shining these things up, I'm just rambling here. I got a watch that I'm trying to sell. It's one thing I can mention. If you look at my watch collection video, talking about mine, not me showing off a friend Marcelo's or somebody else's watch collection, where I'm showing off mine, Mark Antomanti. Inside of that video, I show off a Groon watch from the late 50s, early 60s. It's a Groon Precision 510, and it has all these Masonic symbols on the dial. It's a gold-plated watch, vintage watch. I had it, what did I have it? I had it overhauled. I paid about 25 to 30,000 Japanese yen for that. Had anything that was wrong with it fixed. It was cleaned. It was overhauled. And yeah, if you guys don't know this about me, I'm a pretty hardcore Christian. Pretty hardcore. I'm really hardcore. My views don't line up with those Freemasons. If you look into it, they're breaking a lot of commandments. And I was ignorant at first and was actually getting ready to join the Freemasons. I was reaching out and was wanting to come to the temple, which is actually near one of my jobs, starting in next month in May. So in just a little than half a month, you know, I was wanting to start going there. You know, I put in the research, found out some of their core values and their beliefs. And it's not one that a Christian should ever, I'm talking about ever in your lifetime. If you believe in Jesus Christ, you should never align yourself with them. And, you know, God tells you inside the Bible that you shouldn't be making oats, O-A-T-H-S, oats. I'm saying oats like oatmeal. Oats, I can't say it right, but you guys know what I'm saying. You shouldn't make those. And it's the first thing that they have you do when you join. Then when you start moving up the ranks, you're making more oats and you're constantly keeping oats. And the things that they have you making oats for is not good. Bible says you shall not serve two masters. You can't serve two masters. So, you know, God is the only God. There are no other gods before him, after him, next to him. Below him, he is the only God that you should be serving because he is your creator. So, you know, that is a no-go. And they let you become a Freemason, just believe in any old thing, man. It's a complete slap in the face to Christianity. There are some good videos out there. I feel like I should drop a link. I just watched one today right before shining these shoes. Any video that you watch exposing the Freemasons, if you type in Freemasons and Christianity on YouTube, a bunch of good videos are going to come up. I looked at every single one of them. Every single one of them explains what the problem is and why you shouldn't be one. I looked at that and I was like, well, now that I know better, I cannot remain ignorant. I said, absolutely not. I'm not getting myself into this mess. Long story short, I got this Freemason watch from Groon, over 60 years old. Bought it, had it overhauled. It looks nice. If you're a Freemason, you're absolutely going to love it. But for me, as a Christian, I don't want that thing or nothing to do with that relic whatsoever at all. So I'm trying to offload that. So I got it up on this Japanese website called Mercari. And trying to get rid of it now trying to get my money back on that. For as much as I put into it, I probably won't. But even if I get a little bit below my asking, because people can negotiate with you on this platform. So I'm willing to let go of it for a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I got to get rid of that thing. So go ahead and have a look at that video and look at it. And if you think you like it, why don't you go ahead and reach out to me and I'll cut you a deal on that thing because you watching my videos. cut you a deal on that thing and I can get it to you shipped anywhere inside the world. But especially if you're inside of Japan where I don't have to pay a lot of money to, then yeah. All right, this is looking good. This is already looking good. So that's the story there. What I wanted to say, get a little bit of conversation out there. And if you guys are already watching this far inside the video and you're still watching, since I'm already talking about Christianity and stuff, I might as well just spill the beans. If you made it this far inside the video, you deserve to know. I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I haven't updated this channel in a long time because I was conflicted about some things. Here I am calling this channel Gentleman Masterclass. I'm teaching people about clothes and style and things like that. But when has clothes ever made the man, or just because you dress nice, that makes you a gentleman? Your morals and your convictions and what you stand for and don't stand for, those are the things that make you a gentleman. It's the things that you do, not what you wear. So this channel is going to be changing completely. And I don't care if I lose all 50,000 of my followers, because I'll get them back one way or another. And there'll be people that align with my views, probably more than the people that are already subscribed to me now. So if you want to go ahead and unsubscribe and leave, feel free to. But what I'm saying is, this platform still going to be called Gentleman Masterclass. But if I'm really going to teach men how to be men, responsible men, how to live with some convictions, live for something, you know, it has to be a Christian channel. I'm going to be making all Christian content, talking about religious matters, not religious matters. I'm going to be talking about having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ and how that can help you inside of your personal life, the things you need to do to make you a better person, how to live more Christ-like. And let me just shine this a little bit more. Things of this nature. You know, I was just halving it, telling you guys about the dress code. Oh, you got to have your shoes this shined up, wear the new suit, and have the tie pin here, and wear all this extraneous stuff. Yeah, you look like a gentleman, but you could still be the biggest sleazeball of all time. So better I just teach you the real ways and the lessons that you need to follow that'll make you a better person. So these are looking pretty good. I'm going to kind of pause the video right here. I'm going to stick these in between my legs, and I'm going to use this chamois, and I'm really going to buff this out, but I'll be right back. All right, so they're not shined up completely, but they look better than what they did, definitely. And I'm going to open up this one because I have to dye the back of these things, show you guys what that's like. And let me be careful not to make a big mess here because this is permanent. Maybe not on your skin, but it's definitely permanent on... the application is going to be permanent on the shoes. Let me just put a little bit inside the cap. All right, I guess I don't need to do that. So I sopped up some inside of here. Let's make sure that we can see this. Let's get that dyed. Kind of get my finger inside of there and hit both sides of this. Take a look at this one. Let me just do half of it. I mean, yeah, you guys can see the difference, right? It dries pretty quickly. Stick my finger inside of there. Get this back black again. Let's hit those sides. Hit the sides. This one. And I guess you could reapply it as much as you want. Let me just see. Just go straight down the back side here, down the middle. Not going to re-dye this whole shoe black again. Just trying to have it look presentable is all. Take a look. All right, overall it's pretty good. Pretty good. See if I could do a little bit on the side there. The side of the sole. As kind of a heel dressing. You know what I mean? All right, so we're going to let this dry up, and then we're going to come back and take a look at what it looks like after. All right, so we're pretty much done at this point in time, but just remember what this one is called. It comes with this little application brush there. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Salute to you wherever you may be out inside the world. And as always, gentlemen, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy. I'm out.